Hello Forza fans, this is my attempt at taking on the vintage Le Mans prototype series last week. First of all, I already had the Lotus Type 40, so here at Suzuka I decided to just take that out. Now you'll see I'm already car level 29, this is actually my first race, but I noticed that it understeered quite a bit. In fact, I'm not just saying it understeers, it's more the kind of car where the steering wheel is more of a suggestion of where you'd like to go, and it will get back to you in about 3 to 5 business days. So as you'll see, I am pretty conservative here. I was starting a little bit further back because it seems that the Ferrari and the Lola are more the cars to take here. There's quite a bit of contact ahead of me. I know the limits of how well this car can do, but maybe others will fall off and help me out. There's a few people getting out of shape as somebody turns right there and slams into the wall with a comedy clatter noise. I'm already up to 6, and then what? Another car going off, Tommy on the right, and I'm up to 5th. So from a car that I'm not really that comfortable with, it seems that I'm already benefiting from other people's issues with cars banging wheels up ahead as well. So hopefully we can take some more positions in the near future. The thing that seems to be the main issue is it doesn't handle too badly, this Lotus, when the tyres are fresh, but the problem with this is that they seem to be on about 12x tyre wear, so you'd only get about 3 laps out of the tyres and need to do, as someone goes off on the left, I'm up to 4th, so this is pretty remarkable for me considering how poor I thought things were in practice and qualifying for this race. But yeah, the tyres go off so quickly here, and as soon as you seem to get any tyre wear whatsoever in this Lotus, you are really battling to take any kind of corners whatsoever. I will be pretty lucky to hang on to 4th if I'm honest. So Marzus there taking 4th position away from me, and I'm down into 5th. I seem to have a much better straight line though. But I don't really know what I was trying to do there. You know, I'll just go on the grass. Everything should work out for the best, right? That's definitely a good overtaking point to try. Fail there to get up close and personal in 130R. And this is a story of my week, really. That's why this video is called 3 Cars, 1 Idiot. I decided after taking this Lotus that it probably wasn't the best bet considering the understeer levels when the tyres start to wear a tiny bit, meaning the vast majority of the race is pretty tricky. I try and take 4th place back here, which I just about manage. I get the customary collision in the side because of course everybody expects me to disappear on the apex in this. And I get really out of shape there, just try and hold it together. I'll be on the inside for this corner, but I get closed out, but it's actually quite a nice little overtaking move. And then in it behind is definitely going to benefit from my inability to control the car now and get it round corners. And I have dropped into 6th position. We're just going to watch this a little bit further round because I thought maybe with them sliding and the fact I've got better straight line speed than particularly Marzus up there in front, that I might be able to quickly regain one or both of these positions if I just don't fall too far back. They're fighting, so slowing themselves down a little bit as well, and the hairpin is always great fun for either missing your braking point or getting run into the back of, so I thought something might happen. I just keep it tight on the apex here, but can't quite make it happen. And as we make our way round the corners towards Spoon, I just drift off the circuit. The understeer is getting really bad now. As you can see, my tyres are pretty much down to minor tyre wear, so that opportunity was well and truly gone. I'm going to cut ahead now to the end of this lap, where I decide to take my pit stop because the tyres are well and truly dead by the end of lap 3. Marzus decides at the very last minute to take the pit stop, so I clatter into him. I thought I'd got the penalty for that collision, which I thought was rather unfair, but actually it was the off track at the chicane that saw me come unstuck with a 1.5 second penalty there. So I'm down into 7th, but I'm sure there are people ahead who still need to pit and may well be fighting with their tyres. We're just going to skip ahead here where the Crow is really struggling on their tyres, rubs up against Marzus, no harm done by the looks of things. I get it a little bit wrong trying to figure out which way they were going to go, but they're going into the pits. So we're back up into 6th place. And I think the fight is on. I don't know if that penalty is going to count against us, but there's definitely going to be another pit stop in this race with tyres only lasting 3 laps. I managed to get past Init, who had overtaken me prior to the pit stop, but they must have struggled a little bit on the extra lap they did on the previous tyres. I am already ahead of them, but anticipating really losing that position. Maybe I can still get ahead of Marzus, or at least have a good fight trying, as we seem pretty close overall. But I get overtaken reasonably easily on the outside here, which then becomes the inside, of course, for the uphill towards the Degners, and I am back down into 6th. On lap 6, you see Marzus get a little bit out of shape there, and I managed to take the position. They don't rejoin into me, so I'm up into 5th place, which feels pretty good, to be honest, and this time it's me to take the pit stop in front of him. We don't collide, although it looks like they collide with each other behind, and as we leave the pits on lap 7, I'm still in 5th, so it looks like there's a good opportunity for me here to get a top 5 finish. I don't think within it now 30 seconds up the road that I'm going to get any better than that. Braveheart behind got a bit deep into the chicane, nearly runs into the back of me, but no harm done, and then at the end I have indeed held it, and that is a 5th place. Now, considering how bad the car was handling as soon as the tyres got any sort of wear whatsoever, I was pretty happy with that 5th, but I did notice that the guys in front were well up the road, 30 plus seconds up the road. So as the tracks came round to Maple Valley, I thought, you know what, if you can't beat them, join them. I'm getting in the Ferrari. But you're about to see, having a decent car isn't always the sign that you're going to do well. And doing well here is not necessarily a case of position, it's more a case of how badly I was driving. And that brings full circle the idiot element of my thumbnail for this video. At the start of the race, I don't get a particularly great start. There's only 6 of us in the lobby, so I'm in last place. And I'm kind of conservatively driving here. I don't want to sort of get too up close and personal with people too soon. But at the same time, the guys in front are driving reasonably well as well, so I'm not sort of sailing past any of them or holding myself back from passing any of them. This is pretty natural pace, but I didn't want to be right up there if anything did go wrong and get collected in somebody else's incident. It looks like the Lotus that I picked last race probably isn't going to be great for forks in front. You can just see that there's something not quite right. They're not quite confident on the power. So I think it's a matter of time before we get past the Lotus and up into 5th. And indeed, that's exactly what happens as they swipe behind me in the mirrors there, but luckily avoid us and don't plough into the back of us. So we're up to 5th. Now I'm thinking, well, can we get a podium? This car is quick. It's proven itself to be quick at Suzuka. It's been pretty good for me here. In practice, I think I was 2nd fastest in practice, but didn't get a qualifying lap in because I was too busy trying to get a feel for the car. Hopefully, I can take advantage. Well, the final corner, the brutal final corner, claims P1 and P2 there. They've looked like they've collided with each other. So I am up into that podium position. And Reinter goes wide at T1. So suddenly it's the battle of the 2 Ferraris, me and Mad Wookie here, for possibly the win of this race. I decide to pit before Mad Wookie in an attempt to out-strategy them. You are about to see where this whole race comes unstuck though, because you might be thinking, well, he explained that this was a bad race at the start. Well, check this out. I come out the corner, get out of shape, get on the grass, out of shape some more, and oh my god, I've accidentally gone into the pits 1 lap later. I don't need to pit, and I will definitely need to pit again in this race regardless of what I do here. So I just have to sit through a pit stop, a completely pointless pit stop, and there goes any hope of catching Mad Wookie or doing a better strategy, because I know I will be going into the pits again. Met W in front goes off the track, so I regain 2nd place, and then this is a scheduled stop on lap 8 as I fly in, but I already know the race has gone as I'm 24 seconds behind Mad Wookie. This is where it's very important to bear in mind you should always keep your head. as I leave the pits on lap 9, I know at 52 seconds behind, even if Mad Wookie needs to do one more pit stop before the end of this race, the race is done. I've caught them up a little bit, but I completely throw myself off track at the first turn. I've lost my head. It's a guaranteed second. I've already made a mistake by going to the pits in error. It surely can't get any worse than this. Well, it can. I get my braking all wrong, go into the end of the tyre wall. So I've already been off at lap 1. I've already been off at turn 1. I don't reverse far enough and clatter into the end of the tyre wall again. So it's back into reverse for me. And I get going once again with the race already ended for Mad Wookie. Remarkably, I've managed to hold second place. So if you've ever seen somebody finish second on the podium further back than that, answers on a postcard, let me know in the comments below. So in the final race, I noticed the Lola T70 MkIIIB was also pretty quick. And yeah, somebody didn't get going on the grid and I just clattered straight into the back of them. So I was really channeling the Maple Valley misfortune that I just had at this race. And it wasn't really going to get much better from here as Marky McFly goes right on effectively a straight there. I'm thinking though, you can see the tyre wear in comparison to the Lotus and the Ferrari seems to actually be pretty good in this car. And that was where my strategy idea came into play. So I wasn't going well. I'd crashed on the start line really technically before the race had begun. I wanted to make amends for that by trying to go deep into this race. Now we know the corners are very wide open. You can carry quite a bit of speed through them. So I thought with a bit of tyre wear, I might still be able to not shed too much time and maybe go for a single stop strategy here, which I did indeed end up doing. But you'll just have to see how it turns out in a second. I just had no straight line speed compared to the Porsche there at all. So that is a slight worry, considering I want to make up as many places as possible by out-strateging people. As Moffat goes into the pits there, I know for a fact that I've got 2 more in me. Tico here in the same car is a little bit out of shape. Faster in the straight line, but I get a little bit of an advantage in the corner. Just try and hold it. Slow down here for the penultimate turn. And yeah, Tico goes wide, so I managed to hold that nicely. The cars in front go into the pits. So on lap 5, as I go into lap 6, I am actually up into 4th place by the time I go over the start-finish line, thinking, this looks like a pretty smart strategy. So as I come into the pits on lap 6, I am still in 4th. And when we emerge from the pits, we are in 10th. So I haven't really gained too much right now, but I'm still hoping there are going to be more pit stops ahead of me. So that gain due to the single stop strategy might become more apparent in the later stages of this race. I managed to get around Tico at the penultimate corner once again. Just swipe into the final turn and get on the power. But once again, you're going to see the power of the Porsche compared to my Lola as they go flying past me as if I'm not even there, frankly. Now on lap 9. They go slightly wide, and I say thank you very much, I'll take that. I get a clang in the left-hand door, but no harm done. Pretty much resigned to the fact I'm going to lose the place again on the straight, though. I just have to lift a little bit to stay on the track, but they go wide, as you see in my mirrors, so I actually hold that position. Willar's in front goes into the pit, so I'm up to 7th as we enter lap 10. This strategy seems to be going pretty nicely. More pit stops have happened in front, but unfortunately I come out behind the rather excellently named Fatal Face Fart, and there I finish. So it wasn't actually too bad coming home in 6th with that strategy. Thank you for watching. More racing next week in the Formula Mazda. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and see you soon. Take care. Goodbye.